Welcome, everyone. We'd like to bring this meeting to order. This is the March 30th, 2023 meeting of the Vicksburg Warren Board of Trustees. And we will now move to agenda item A2, election of officers.
No, not yet.
We start with you running it?
You ready? You ready? All right. First office is going to be president, and I would ask, are there nominations for president?
Mr. Attorney, if I may, by acclamation, I'd like to move that we keep the same slate of officers as we had last year.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that by acclamation, the officers remain the same as last year. All officers, Mr. Sturgis,
Yes, sir.
and that would be President Kimball Slayton, Vice President would be Brian Pratt.
Joe
Leviza, pardon me, and Secretary Brian Pratt. Any discussion about the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Okay. We will move on with that. Thank you, Mr. Sturgis.
Yes, sir.
All right, we will ask Pastor Joe Harris to take the podium and bless our meeting, please, sir.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, once again, we petition your throne of grace. We come as an empty pitcher before a full fountain, but we come with so much praise and thanksgiving. Even in my darkest hour, this dark period in my life right now, I ask that you would just continue to bless. Father, we ask that you would just bless this assembly. We ask that you would bless the superintendent and the co-worker. We just say thank you. Father, if we ever needed you, we sure need you now. Our government, we ask that you would bless our national government, state government, and our local government. You said in your holy word, things are to be done decent and in order. We ask that you would just let your Holy Spirit abide. Know that we love you. We thank you. Continue to keep your arms around us and don't leave us. It's all in your Son, Jesus' name. I offer this prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
if I may add on, I'm not a preacher by no stretch of the imagination, but if I can add on to the preacher, if we would all have a short prayer for the 3 9-year-old students and the 3 adults in the shooting in Nashville. If you will close your eyes for a prayer for them, please. And that would be Catherine Kuntz, William Kinney, Mike Hill, Cynthia Peaks, Haley Scruggs, and Evelyn Die House. Amen. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. And we do it that with heavy hearts for certain. And my computer is timed out. All right, let's go to the adoption of the agenda, which is item C1.
I make a motion, we adopt the agenda as presented with one correction. Members, before you, you have a personnel department add-on. To make sure we don't have confusion, this is not what you were probably presented in your packet. This is added to that. So what's in board docs is what was presented in your packet. This is added to it. So don't think, if you haven't read this or know that. So I want to make a motion that we make sure we add this item to the personnel J1.
Oh, okay. Do we all have? I'm sure.
Add-ons.
Do we all? It's in the new package?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
The explanation is this is a dynamic document that changes when the MDE approves all the licensing. And so that's why we're giving it at a late time. So we just need to make sure that it is part of tonight's agenda.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha.
All right, there's a motion to adopt the agenda with the additional add-on. Can I get a second?
Where was the add-on place, Mr. President?
J1.
Good. Thank you.
I got a second, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, let's go with the approval of the last couple of meetings. Mr. Pratt?
Yes, board members, you have before you the February 23rd and the March 7th special call board meeting minutes. Are there any additions or deletions or corrections to the minutes for February 23rd or March 7th? Seeing as none, I make a motion, we approve the minutes for February 23rd, 2023, and March 7th for the special call board meeting of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. E1, all you, brother.
Oh, it's my turn. All right. I get to do this at least one more time, right? One of the biggest issues that we've been dealing with, obviously, and Jim, alluded to another tragedy, but we had a local school district that has been absolutely decimated. And we've been trying to reach out and see how we can serve. There's a couple of ways we're doing this. One of the updates is through Mississippi Department of Ed, and Kimberly is doing to see how we can help with either helping loan buses that are available within our fleet or helping them repair the damaged buses that they had until they can get those fleet repair works done, and just making you aware that that's one of the things we're doing. And I don't know if Eric, and this is a cold read because I have not
officially yet. I
couldn't get word, but I do know that their prom is in jeopardy because they can't find a location, and they had reached out to our the place where we're having ours to see if they could do it at the same time in a different location. Eric's reaching out and said that doesn't make much sense, so we're going to see if we can just do a combined prom and have them in here. I don't know if that requires any action, Mr. Attorney.
I think it will by them. In fact, they have a meeting in the morning because, as you know, I'm their school board attorney too. So,
Yep.
I'll address that with them tomorrow.
So if, would there need to be, because I know the prom is on the 29th.
Check the contract with
Yes. So there may be a special call board meeting, if y'all are amenable to that, to address those issues. So we can be of help any way we can. I know that several organizations within our district have reached out and delivered supplies, and our heart goes out to all that community as they, rebuild their life. Had multiple opportunities to, or were invited to speak as to what we're doing in the Vicksburg Warren School District in 3 different areas this month, or this last month. One was at Lauderdale County. We spoke to 10 districts on the academy model and what that looks like and getting that implemented. Had some good discussions around what a flexible calendar needed to look like and what a actual scheduling that would look like, and the peer cohorts and which academies they might select. So it was some good opportunity to help other districts in our state do something that we've been doing for quite some time. Also got to speak at the USD Rural Development Conference. It was something that was actually scheduled during COVID, and then they reached back out to us, and we talked to 300 people from Tennessee about what we're doing in Vicksburg. We're able to make some connections that will be very beneficial to our district down the road there also. We had a great visit from the Leader in Me group. Meryl Summers came in, and she was actually the original Leader in Me school. And they did a whole video series that's going to be coming out and about our district. They interviewed several, they interviewed us, they interviewed me, they interviewed several teachers, and had some panel discussions about what's going on in Vicksburg. And she was very, very complimentary of what she saw, and very impressed with how we were utilizing the Leader in Me here. Last thing, before I go into another thing, so it's not the last thing, we got a governor's award through MAPE. It was a partnership award through us and the ERDIC, the little engineering place over there that is in town. So again, we're able to be recognized by a statewide entity about our partnership. So, that's there. So the last thing you will see, and it is the last thing you'll see, there is a packet at your table. We've been meeting with Mayor Flags in response to the desire to create a comprehensive community-wide approach for service for students and their families. So you'll find that proposal at your table. What I asked you to do is, we've got a copy to Briggs, which, you hadn't had a chance to look at. I saw for the first time yesterday. And we have it with our federal programs to see how we could fit in this and be able to serve. So if you will, review this over the course of the next week. Cedric is working directly with the city on this particular project, and find out your thoughts, what your ideas are around this, so that we can get it to Cedric and get it back to a meeting with the mayor. Cedric, do you know when the next meeting is?
No, I will be in contact with Felicia Kent.
Felicia Kent. Yeah, it's an attempt to have to kind of put it in a summary. There's going to be a service location at the old Chamber of Commerce building, and there'll be multiple connections to services that are going to be through different agencies, and it's really a collaborative effort through a lot of people to be able to serve that. But the one on mission. But hats off to Mayor Flags for taking the initiative to begin this effort. So, and that concludes me.
Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir.
I'm just to add one other thing, since you're talking about the mayor.
Oh.
I did read, and I did read this, I read it off the internet, but I also read it somewhere else, so I think it's legit. MDE, his attorney, MDE for the parent of the year.
We got this right here. That's what Christie's holding up to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can we do
well,
that?
Okay, I will. I sent you.
We'll rewind.
So Christie, if I can interrupt you, then you can do it afterwards.
No, go ahead. You can finish up.
Dadgummit. Christie is, she's actually going to acknowledge, we've had this time of year, we have our teacher of the year, our parent, or assistant teacher of the year, our parent of the year, and we got some really special news at the end that we're excited to celebrate. So Christie, if you would read those names and.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes, we have lots of people to celebrate. It's fun to come up here and celebrate for once, so I'm glad to do that. But as you know, each of our schools chooses a teacher of the year to represent them. Also, we have teacher assistants of the year at our schools, an administrator of the year, and a parent of the year. So if you will, I would love to be able to share those individuals. I'll also encourage you for our teachers of the year. We have, if you are online, we do a series called Testimonial Tuesday, and we featured students from each of our schools, and now we're featuring a teacher from each of our schools, and we chose to go ahead and just do it for our teachers of the year. So those are all out online. We put them on Facebook. They also live on our brand new webpage, so you can go there, and I'll make that little plug to check out our new webpage. Anyway, Beechwood, we're going to do teachers of the year first. Beechwood, we have Miss Charlize Godwin. Bovina, Megan Carney. Beaumar, Mary Quinn Wood. Dana Road, Stormy Dupre. Redwood, Shonda Morrison. Sherman Avenue, Kathy Parker. South Park, Danielle Miller. Warrenton, Alea Lick. VIS, Clarissa Davis. WCI, Esperanda Sampson. AOI, Sarah Teague. Vicksburg Junior High, Jennifer Stewart. Warren Central Junior High, Tiandra Rowell. River City Early College, Ebony Gardner. Vicksburg High School, Cassandra Ringo. Warren Central High School, Christy Brannon. Our CTE Teacher of the Year was Miss Eloise Ford. So let's pause and give them all here. Celebration. All right. I'm very pleased to announce that Bovina's Megan Carney was chosen as the overall Teacher of the Year for the district. And a special mention to Ebony Gardner at River City Early College, who was recognized as the Rural Teacher of the Year by PREPS and the Mississippi Rural Education Association. So special kudos to those teachers. Let's move to Teacher Assistants of the Year. In Beechwood, we had Miss Roxanne Johnson. Bovina, Tracy Hood. Beaumar, Melinda Blackmore. Dana Road, Anthony Hicks. Redwood, Natalie Aslin, Sherman Candace Wilson, South Park Joy Ann Williams, Warrenton Alicia Wright, VIS Felicia Lewis, WCI Lisa King, Vicksburg Junior High Barbara Hodge, Warren Central Junior High Shalisha King, River City Early College Evelyn Johnson, and Vicksburg High School Jerry Evans. So those are our teachers and assistants over here. All right. Our administrator of the year, and I see that she's online, maybe she can pop her camera on, is Miss Lakeisha Beatty. Are you there, Miss Beatty?
Yes, ma'am.
There she is. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a quick hello from her. And of course, our partners and all that we do are our parents and our guardians. We couldn't do what we do without them. And so we have some recognitions there. Beechwood's Parent of the Year was Hannah Carpenter. Bovina, Ellie Lynch. Bomar, Emily Muirhead. Dana Road, Mathis Lee. Redwood, Holly Loper. Sherman Avenue, Arnessa Harrison. South Park, Kelvin Rankin. VIS, Deanna Edmond. Vicksburg Junior High, Tiffany Robinson. Warren Central Junior High, Janitra Brown. River City Early College, Julie Ford. And for the big announcement at the end, Vicksburg High School's Parent of the Year was Miss Kimberly Naylor. Kimberly Naylor also won the entire state of Mississippi's Parent of the Year. She's amazing, she does amazing things, and we'll have a celebration plan. We're working on some media coverage and so forth with a little celebration in the next week or so. But if you see her, please congratulate her and thank all of our parents and teachers. They do such a great job.
And we do have an event that'll be coming up, I think, April the 12th. And it is in the afternoon, and we will celebrate everybody, and they'll get their recognition monument at that event. And we're able to kind of celebrate them with a little punch and cookies too. So, and I did not get a chance to surprise her because MDE sent her press release directly to her. So we were second at the congratulations. But we're very proud of everything she does to help the students at Vicksburg High, and she's also very active at AOI in addition to that. So great parents make us what we are, no doubt. So anyway, I assume that was what you were going to say, right?
You're correct, sir.
And now that will conclude me. That's the last thing that I have to say, unless I forgot something else.
I think we're good. All right, we'll go back onto the agenda, item F1, the bond project updates. Who do we have online? Mark?
Mark?
Yes, sir.
I'm here,
You got Jason as well. We're both on.
You hear me, Mark?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. You're muted.
Hang
on, we're working on you.
Kimball, this is Jason. Can you hear me?
One second, Mark. Can you hear me? Hold your thumb up if you can hear me. Okay, gotcha. Hang on one second.
Yeah, so I make the recommendation that Mark will complete the rest of our work with no additional funds. Mark, you have,
You're getting
you can speak up at any time if you have a problem with that. If not, then...
Hey, guys, this is Jason. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Jason?
I'll tell you what, you want me to call you on my phone, Mark?
I can hear you, Mark.
Too bad we can't give them sign language.
We got you now.
All right, it's all on you. Go, Mark.
Jason, you want to start or you want me?
I can do it. Briefly, kind of updates other than Warren Central. We got the new canopy topping installed and inspected this morning at the Academy of Innovation. So we're pleased to get that behind us. The only other thing we have outstanding is I got a notification from Archives of History on BOMAR regarding their grant and reimbursement from the district. We've got to do some tweaking and kind of some verbiage changing on the maintenance plan, but I will be getting with Bill and getting that squared away and then getting that finally submitted. So as far as other projects, Mark's gonna take Warren Central.
All right, for Warren Central, I'm happy to report I feel like I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, making better progress. Some of the key things, the structural steel for the Agora is basically complete. I think I mentioned that last meeting. They have a couple of punch list items, but they've been holding off on those until they come and set the bar joist for the credit union store building, which should start next week. You've probably seen that the slabs for the Agora and the credit union and store have been poured. They've got the CMU going at the credit union and store. The roofing is probably 98% complete or more on all phases, except obviously the credit union and store where they haven't started. But they're just finishing up the loose ends around the Agora and hope to have that done by the end of next week. So things are going well. The critical path item is the delivery of the glass. That's the key thing that we need, and we just hope we get that as planned. And if we do, things should be moved along. I'm also happy to report on the infills for the lockers in A building. All the metal studs have been put up. All the dipboard has been installed. They did do one sample area that was going to be the mock-up right there on 200 Hall. I think it looks pretty good. They do have a couple of things to clean up on the edges. We pointed that out, and so that work should be progressing soon and wrapped up before next year for sure. Any questions?
I don't have any. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you, Mark and Jason, very much.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you all.
And we have no action items on the bond issue. We now go to G1 Financial.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For our financials, our statement of cash flow, the ending fund balance of the statement of revenues and expenses does reconcile to the ending cash flow report balance for your February 28, 2023 report, and the beginning cash flow balance for March. As of February, the estimated district fund balance is $28,756,106.41. And as you noticed from last year, that is a tick up from last year. That's because we got our big influx for the February ad valorem. It is still a little low than what we had last year for the 3 months, December, January, February. So we're looking at that March to be a little higher to, I guess, offset what we did last year as well. The MAEP collections, the appropriation for February 2023 was $2,353,450. That continues to be consistent throughout the fiscal year. For our casino revenue, we did receive our revenue on time. The January casino revenue was received in February and in the amount of $62,179.66. And we have received our February casino revenue as well. I'll be reporting that for next board meeting. And that concludes my financial report.
Okay, do you have another G2, a request for bids?
I do. In your package, you have the, I'm requesting permission to bid on these items. They are up June 30th, so we want to make sure that we get them prepared in enough time in terms of the advertisement and for our next budget cycle, so.
Ms.
I
Lewis,
can list, yes.
on the, I get the depository. I just want to make sure that the wording is, when you say staff and you're not naming okay, like staffing solution.
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure
No.
I'm clear on what this is. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first, I guess we need to get a motion and a second to receive the financial report.
Make a motion that we receive the financial report as presented.
A motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Now G2, someone execute that, please.
Where we going?
We need action to give her permission to.
Make a motion that we authorize permission for putting out the bid for the depository, the staffing contract, for a service contract, educational services, the uniforms, mat rental, and private healthcare services.
Second. A motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Now we'll go to our proposed consent agenda items.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
would you please pull H1, H5, H7, H8, 7 and 8 can go together.
Okay.
H10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, please.
10, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Yes, sir. Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got it.
Any other items need to be pulled?
All right, I make a motion, we approve the proposed consent agenda with the, for exclusion of H1, H5, H7, H8, H10, H11, H12, H13, H14.
Get a second, please. Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items with the stated removals. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. Sturgis, H1 is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, on the H1, I just have two of those, and on the transportation, and then it may go along with what Mr. Shealy had mentioned earlier about if we can, giving some buses or something. So this may be a moot point, but since I have it here, I'll ask the question. I see we are ordering 13 buses. Of the 13, how many are special need buses?
Excuse me, none. They've already been ordered. We have those in our possession.
Oh, you already have these buses?
Yes, sir.
We've already voted on this?
Yes, sir.
So why is it on here?
It says new acquisition.
Ma'am?
They're under the new acquisition.
When they're received, we put the serial numbers in to put them as assets in the district, is I think what she's saying.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, I like to, well, I'm not through yet. Okay, and under athletics then, on that drone, is this drone it's for, one time, Mr. AD, we had a drone, and correct me when I go wrong, because I go wrong far more than I do right. The first drone was for Warren Central. Is this drone is for Vicksburg? I see you have a two-way radio. Which schools are those?
I think that's for track, for Warren Central, for track.
For track, for both schools?
Correct.
Okay, I guess you see where I'm going with this. What we do for one, we should do for the other. And then, okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve H1, please.
Motion and a second to approve H1. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. H5.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, on H5. Of the 40 students that are here, that are high school juniors and seniors participating in this camp, which since Mr. Shealy has been here, I've asked this same question.
100%.
Okay.
I'm not a prophet, but I think I know what you're going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Where is the pickup and the drop-off?
Oh, no, I missed it.
Well, we happen to have the man that'll know that sitting right out there. Mr. Delaney, will you please expand on his question?
So there are multiple pickup and drop-offs. So the camp is 1 week long, and we have 40 kids. We're gonna run through all things engineering in this part of the world. And so they'll go through all 4 labs at Early, Mississippi Materials, they'll go to the CAF Center at Canton, Neil Schaefer Engineering, they'll ride on a big boat that owns the Corps of Engineers. They'll go through everything engineering in this part of the world.
Yes, sir. And how long is the camp?
Camp runs from June 11th through the 17th, so Sunday through Saturday.
And on the bus situation, who's paying for that?
School district is paying for it.
Sir?
It's a donation, we're asking a donation from the school district. So,
This is, Mr. Sturgis, this is something that came up last year. We got an Attorney General's opinion. I was going to pull this too. One thing, and this is my fault, because Mr. Delaney sent me the letter in advance, and I read Vicksburg Warren, and it says Vicksburg Warren County area. And the one caveat is we've got to have students here in the Vicksburg Warren School District to participate. So I guess that's the assurance we need, is that there will be students in our school district that are participants to be able to do that.
absolutely.
That was the one issue we had
Yeah.
with the Attorney General. So if the motion is made to approve this, it needs to be contingent upon there being Vicksburg Warren School District students, not just students in the area. And it was my fault because he did send it to me earlier, and I should have added that caveat in there.
What have you been doing?
I've been sitting around. Been busy, sleeping a lot.
Celebrating birthdays, right?
So with that, that's all I have, Mr. President. So with that, I'd like to make a motion contingent upon the 100% is what you said of the Vicksburg Warren School District students. And if I put one caveat in there that the attorney just oversees and makes sure that it's all in place, the right word and whatever we need, sir.
I think, let me make sure I've got something clear. I don't think there are 100% Vicksburg Warren students these are students from all over, but in the discussions we had last year about this, there are Vicksburg Warren students, and that was part of the request for the AG's opinion. Could the school district provide the buses when you're busing other students that are not in our school? And essentially, the AG said, yes, you can do it if you would be busing the Vicksburg Warren school districts, and it's an educational program beneficial to the district students. So if it's incidental, if the other participants, if they had someone from JPS or from Louisiana, wherever, if their participation is incidental to the fact that we would provide this or agree to provide it, then it's okay.
Okay. So with that, Mr. Delaney, how many participants of the 40 are the Vicksburg Warren School District students?
We don't know that yet, but we know that there will be kids from Warren Central and Vicksburg and River City Area College. We've gotten applications in. We've not gotten no applications from National SME yet, but we try to get every kid from Vicksburg and Warren Central and St. Al and Porter's Chapel that apply. We never get as many applications as we like, but as many as we get, we try to get them in. So
Okay.
there will be kids from
Yes, sir.
Warren School District.
So with that, Mr. Delaney, in the past, how many students have you had from Vicksburg Warren School District? As opposed to let's say you had 40, 30 students?
It's typically 40 kids, and it varies from year to year. We've had as many as
Four out of 40?
4.
I'm asking, is you saying 4 out of 40
Some years, yeah. Some
Wow.
years we've had as many as 30.
students from Vicksburg?
Yeah,
Okay, early on.
Early years, yeah.
Yeah, the early ones, okay. Okay, so that's a great percentage. 4 out of 40, 2 out of 40, 1 out of 40.
It's more than that.
I understand, Mr. Delaney. What I'm trying to do is get a balance of more of what we're here for whilst we're sitting on this board as opposed to the others. I mean, everybody pays taxes in Vicksburg. I understand that, Warren County. But we are the public schools. So I want to make sure that our students, and I know what you're going to tell me, they're not sitting in applications. I get it. Okay.
I personally take the applications to the Vicksburg and Warren School District schools. They're only schools that get a personal visit, and we don't get as many applications as we'd like. And we send speakers to an engineers week to all the Algebra 2 classes to talk to engineering campus well, along with talking engineering. And we just don't get as many applications as we want.
Yes, sir. Somehow, and this is only Jim Sturgis' opinion, nobody else on this board, we need to somehow up our students, because I feel like I'm on the red planet voting for this. I really do. I won't tell a lie. I'm a public school person, so that's where my heart lies. Okay? I'll make the motion this year, but I hope next year that we'll have a better number of persons from the Vicksburg Warren School District participating, better than 4, 5, or 6.
What number's good for you? Is that?
Sir?
40.
What would be good?
40.
So with that, reluctantly, I will make a motion that we approve H5 contingent upon, and the attorney looking at it to make sure it's all good.
All right, we've got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve H5. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, let's go to H7.
7 and 8, 7 and 8. All I need to know is, and I was just looking at the cost. I just want to know how long they're going to talk.
That's my question too.
That's all, because I think I can be a one-time motivational speaker, and
A lot cheaper than that. can't you?
yeah,
Who is,
that's all.
I know Miss Beatty's on.
That's all I want to know.
Tanya, are you on too?
I'm not debating how
I'm
much.
here.
I just want to know how long they talk.
Yep. The question, did you hear the question?
Yes, I heard the question. 45 minutes to an hour. Same for Vicksburg Intermediate.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion, reluctantly, on H7 and H8, if I'm in order,
Yes.
to approve.
I have a motion to approve H7 and H8. Can I get a second? I have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, H10.
H10. I know I'm supposed to call you Mrs. Jones, but because I like your first two names, I must call you Mona Lisa. And I apologize, Mrs. Jones. But with that, Ms. Jones, I just have a few questions for you. I'm going to assume this is for all schools.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are we replacing all the devices?
We are doing a complete rip and replace of about 70% of the devices. We've been purchasing devices within the last few years that are still good, and we would like to keep those and be able to continue using them.
So what are we going to do with the old devices that we have?
In the past, we've had a contracted vendor come in and pick up the devices, and we compare them to what we've said on the board agenda is ready for disposal, and we will get a check for that amount we sent out. And I think we're sitting on a contract from that provider at this time that we're evaluating.
And what, this is coming from what budget?
Federal program. Yes, sir. 2.
Chad, you did a pretty good job. I can't get no answer. Can't get I don't know answer.
I'm trying, baby.
I know, right?
Only took me 10 years.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve H10, please.
I've got a motion and a second to approve H10. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. H11.
Okay,
Thank you, Ms. Jones.
H11. Oh, okay.
This is
Hey,
the
Doc.
parchment service.
Man, I missed this one. This really stems back from last month's moving the graduation. So now I'm really truly confused here. Because we moved the graduation so we could get the transcripts ready and everything. Now we're getting a company to do this. So will this alleviate the lateness since we've moved graduation?
Well, Mr. Sturgeon, what, this company bought out what we had, Need My Transcript. And Need My Transcript was an online entity where alumni or students could purchase their transcripts. Just go online, just like Amazon, type, put it in the basket and order it. So Parchment bought out Need My Transcript. And then what we found out is a lot of universities only take transcripts, electronic transcripts from Parchment. So this would help twofold, help to streamline that process, and also they want to give us a roadblock on some of these universities who only take.
So the council will be able to do it earlier than they
It's
normally,
the
because
same process.
only reason why I say that, because in May, when I was going to school back in 1929, by May, I knew if I was going to graduate or not. Now, there were one or two that were borderline. So now I'm going to say 90% of the kids that are seniors know they're going to graduate or know they're not going to graduate. So, and again, I'm rehashing something from last month.
You don't do that.
And I'm just, how can 1 week make such a big difference? And I understand what this is going to,
Yes, sir.
but, you know, you have, and I say you know what I'm not speaking directly
Yes,
to
sir.
you, sir. It just baffles my mind. But anyway, thank you, Dr. McKee.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve H11, please.
I have a motion. I have a motion and a second to approve H11. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. H12.
It's big time right here. And hats off, I know that and I'm speaking out of turn, is that okay? Can I
Yeah,
do it?
I'll give you my time.
H12, I just want to thank Briggs for this. I mean, I know he went off of the rails over there to help districts, and one of the things that was created was the Educational Facilities Revolving Loan Fund. And he provided, and of course the whole legislature, obviously, not him, but I know he worked very directly with this particular project. And the original idea was to have up to $1 million per, and the way this was done through the Mississippi Department of Ed, they put out for procurement for a company to pick this up, and ultimately it left the districts that applied even cuts of $750,000. So this is a zero interest loan over 15 years. And gives us the opportunity to do some of these big concrete. That's what we put them in there, Bill, and said to work real hard to define what our projects were. And I knew we had those asphalt projects that kept coming back up. We really didn't know where that big lump of money was coming from. So that's what we proposed, and we received an approval for the $750,000. They actually came and did a walkthrough the areas that we had in that, so that'll give us an opportunity to move on that much more quickly than we thought. Or you wouldn't have to necessarily draw down your general fund balance, which is steadily growing. So,
Gotcha.
I don't know if I answered the question in any of that.
Right, I yield back my time, please.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, but you answered most of it, sir.
Yes, sir.
I give you credit for that. Okay, with that, you said that it's doing the concrete, Doc, I guess it's you. Where are these funds going to be used?
Yes, sir, Mr. Sturgeon. We have 3 locations, Redwood Elementary School, Vicksburg Junior High School, and Vicksburg High School
Okay.
for the asphalt projects.
Now, may I ask a real dumb question? I guess all of them are, but, Bill, on the concrete parking who did the concrete parking where the pool used to be, where Cooper is, it was, on Drummond Street?
Central asphalt did that.
Okay. I'm sure, are you all going to go out for bids on these? Okay. That's a mess up there.
Yes, sir.
That's my classmate, but that's a mess. I hope he's not in this bidding right here, because what he did there is atrocious. Okay?
I don't think you're going to find anybody to argue with you about that.
Okay. And one other thing, Doc, In here, it talks about bond rating. Do you know what our bond rating?
When we pulled it in June 2021, it's A+.
Good, A+. Okay, thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we approve H12, please.
Got a motion and a second to.
Can I make one
Yes,
clarification?
yes.
I think it's 10-year loan.
10, I
not
apologize.
15.
Yeah, it's a 10-year.
20 years, he agreed to it, y'all heard him.
I thought something had changed. I was gonna say that, but I didn't.
Does that change your motion?
No.
Okay.
No.
Motion
I
and a second to
had
approve
10 on here.
H12, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. H13,
H13. On the senior day award ceremonies, question for you. Back during again, when I was in school, 1930, 1931, whatever y'all want to call them, we used to use our auditoriums. I know it's $75. I get $75. I get that. Okay, I'm not talking about the money. Well, I am talking about the money, but I'm not. But it's just $75. But why is it we can't use the auditorium for the award ceremony instead of going down? Because, I mean, we have parking at our schools, so I'm just curious as why we're not trying to use them. But their auditorium.
Well, the PTO is paying the $75.
Sir?
The PTO is paying the $75.
Again, I'm not debating the $75. That is not what I'm debating. What I'm asking is, why are we going there instead of trying to use our own auditoriums? High school auditorium.
would it be?
That's what we
that-
used to do.
This is
Would it be that
RCEC.
RCEC doesn't have an auditorium? I don't know. I mean,
So,
they
well,
don't
what-
have an auditorium. I mean, I agree, they could use either one of the other high schools if they
Right.
wanted to. But I just think this may be because they don't have their own auditorium. I don't know that to be true. Ms.
Okay, no, they don't have an auditorium, but we have two schools with an auditorium,
Yep.
if I'm correct. I'm just curious.
Dr. Smith, are you online?
Or maybe, are the two schools full? They're using them that day. Maybe that's what the problem could be. I'm trying to give you something.
Well, I'm gonna have to give you, I don't know. As I don't want
I
to.
got you.
I do not know the answer to that
and
question. I
again-
can't find it out.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm
can ask
just.
her what brought her to that.
Yes, I'm not talking about $75, y'all. I'm serious, I'm not talking about I'm a money hawk. I'm a Democrat, but I'm a money hawk, and it's not the 75.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Yeah, we do that during the day, and our thought process was that we didn't want to, that's a lot of parents, a lot of students, grandparents, everything. And well, I didn't know if the other schools could handle all of those extra people there during the school day.
yes, ma'am. What time is the ceremony?
I want to say 10. I don't have that sitting right in front of me.
10
But it's
a.m.?
like sir?
10 a.m.?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that makes sense then. Okay. I'd like to make a motion, thank you. I'd like to make.
You're welcome.
I retract my, I don't know.
Okay, you did a good job. I'd like to make a motion that we approve H13, please.
We got a motion and a second to approve H13. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. H14,
H14. Okay, one thing, Mr. President, I think what we need to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Attorney, where it says contact person, because we're not supposed to get in day-to-day, we should be
Me.
the suit instead of
Yep.
you, Mr. President.
I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. With that, has the grant been approved?
Yes, I'll expand on this for just a second so the public will know.
Yes, sir.
We have applied for a grant within RCS, which is the Natural Resource Conservation Service, to repair a major dirt slide just below Vicksburg High School's band hall, and it was flowing down to the softball fields and onto Army Navy Drive, causing a mess every time it rained. We were accepted. It's a roughly $800,000 grant that NRCS is providing for us to do that. Now, what we're executing now is going to be a task order number 2 with Neil Schaefer, which is going to allow them to do the surveying and design portion of this project and get it out for construction bids. Part of that is going to be some geotechnical work with Burns Cooley Dennis over in Jackson is who they chose. And that is actually, Neil Schaefer will pay all these fees. We'll reimburse them. And they're doing a fixed fee of 6% of the estimated surveying and engineering cost and 6% of the estimated construction costs. That 12% is where they come up with their fee. So that's standard across the world of NRCS stuff is for the engineers to get 6% of the project. And so that's what's going on. We're hoping they can push that and get it under construction as soon as they can, so the next rain don't wash away our hill.
And that money for their fee is still coming out of the grant?
Yes. Yeah, all the money's coming out of that grant, and so we'll be responsible for 25% of the total.
So of the, up under Exhibit A, under the general terms and conditions of the fee of the $90,522, the Burns Cooley Dennis Incorporated, that part, the 15.5, we don't have to worry about bidding anything like that because it's all under their umbrella.
Yeah, so
Correct.
when we contract with Neil Schaefer, they'll handle everything. They handle construction inspections and all the stuff until they hand us the keys to the car.
And so they'll get 12% of the 800 and some, whatever.
754.
Okay.
350.
754.
And we'll essentially, we've been given them money for 75% of that number. And then we will pay the additional 25%. So by doing this, NRCS is taking us off the hook for $750,000 worth of work that has to be done to mitigate that problem.
Okay, and so and just please make sure I understand, the 25% that we are paying, is that the overage or 25% of the 754?
It's 25% of the 754. That's
Gotcha.
the way the NRCS always does it. The sponsor pays 25%, they pay 75%.
Okay.
And all the fees that you're seeing that are associated with all this design and everything start coming out of that 754.
Okay.
So I'm just going to use an example of, if Neil Schaefer sends us a bill for $100,000, we pay 25, NRCS pays 75.
Gotcha. Up to 754.
That's the, that's what
to.
the grant is for.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve H14, especially with the contact person. We need to do that.
Yes. All right, we have a motion second to approve H14, changing the contact person's name. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. K1, that's you, Dr. McGee.
No, I've absolutely buried it. Okay.
So there are no changes to the policies. We usually get those changes from MSBA, but this is just for our review. So that's before you now.
Okay.
Next is,
And let's say K2, school improvements.
Yes, sir. We're finishing up our last benchmark testing window. So next month, the principals will present to you or report out on the last benchmark. So we have the principals online now. If you have any questions pertaining to the attendance or the discipline data, but next month, they will have to come before you to present out on the last benchmark and just kind of give you an idea of the projections for each school. So,
Okay. Any discussion or questions? Thank y'all all for being online and being here if you're in person. And, all right, thank you,
Yes, sir.
Doc. All right, L1, 16th section.
You have the 16th section report in your packet, and you see where those payments that are due they were paid. There's 2 payments on there that were paid, I believe. I don't have it in front of me, but you do have it in your packet, and those upcoming as well. And you did ask for a spreadsheet, so we are making some revisions on that, and we'll just email it to you. You asked for that spreadsheet for the last board meeting.
So I have a question.
Yes.
We do reflect that. The document online reflects 2 payments made. It is missing, there is a payment for 3/24 that's late. Oh, that's 2024.
Right. We do put that on because, yeah, it is a March.
We don't need to see the ones that are due in a year.
Okay.
We should only see the ones that are coming
Current,
in the
okay.
next 90 days. I don't know why that one's on there.
Okay.
That looks like that was late, but it's not because it's a year away.
Right. We'll make that.
I mean, I think it should be like 120 days, the ones that are, pick a date, 90 days, 60 days, 120 days out from the last board meeting, so we don't miss any that were late.
Okay.
But thank you for doing that, though. That really helps to be able to see what's upcoming.
Sure.
Change it. Any other questions on 16th section? Okay, we will move on then. What is the revised Biggers lease?
Yes, we've made some updates. You have in your packet a letter that, for the front of that revision, plus the actual document that was revised. We sent that to the, uploaded it to the Secretary of State. They would not accept it because the property was not correctly tagged. Initially, it was commercial, so we're going to tag it from commercial, label it from commercial to other. And there's some other pending items too that they have to do.
I think after, I probably didn't tell you this, I spoke with the Secretary of State about this, and I think if they will clean up, first of all, the property needs to be cleaned, and second, do a shorter lease, give them, apparently there's some heavy equipment and stuff out there, maybe some rundown trailers or something, so they wanted them to clean that up. He didn't say you need to reclassify it right now to other. Let's see what they do, because it's right at that cutoff at about 5 acres, where typically you don't have commercial property under 5 acres. But I think this property was once used for a camp type place. It's out near Bovina, right off Tippingtown Road. I think they used to have a horse camp out there or something, but maybe farm a little bit. Anyway, I think the agreement with the Secretary of State was let's 2 years, make them clean it up, and then we'll go from there. If they hadn't cleaned it in 18 months, then we'd have to kick them off. If they have, then looking at whether they're going to use it for residential or commercial, or we need to classify it as other at that time. So for right now, all you need to do is agree that the letter should be sent to the Biggers as presented in your packet, and that the lease be approved as stated.
So we do need to take action on that?
You do, yes.
Do I need to do first?
All right, so I need
Make a motion.
motion and a second to approve the amended lease. Is that right?
Yeah. Whether we authorize it, you've already said, you need us to approve to send the letter?
No, yeah, this is the letter that, it's just got a date on, this is the letter that was prepared to be sent to them, and then.
So we need to approve, make a motion, we approve the revised lease and authorize the attorney to send the letter provided in the documentation to the leasing.
That good, Brian.
There's a motion. Second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, L3 timber sale.
Yes, we're just requesting that you approve the bid offer that was, and you can, it doesn't say in the heading that it was rejected, but in your packet, it does say that it was rejected. There was only one bid, and it was rejected.
Can I ask?
So were we?
So requesting that you approve the rejection from Mr. Casey Reddick.
You just need to reject, you need to reject the bid is what you need.
Yes.
But what is the timber sale of? I see where it is, but what is it?
Pine. $10 per ton for pine chips
It's in that
and $15 per ton for pine saw timber.
Report.
It's apparently
Are we clear cutting?
54 acres of pines.
I must not be seeing that. Okay.
Go to the bottom of the document. Right there under Dear Sir.
I see 54, yeah, okay, let's see. Okay. So it is being clear cut.
I don't know if it says that.
Well, it doesn't say it's not.
I think it's I think Casey is rejecting it because of the price, not necessarily the.
Oh, so we're rejecting
Rejecting the price. Yeah. So if I can get a motion and a second to reject this bid.
Make a motion, we reject the bid for the timber sale on Section 16, Township 16 North, Range 4E, Warren County, from Charles Donald Popewood, Inc.
Second. Got a motion and a second to reject that bid, and all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And do we have any executive session items? We do. Okay.
We do?
Yep.
I make a motion, we go into closed session to determine the agenda for executive session.
Got a motion and a second to go into to set the agenda for executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much. And thank you all very much.